Okay, we are going to talk loud this morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the January Student of the Month. I'm Mary Walters. I'm your MC for the day. Let's begin with having Cameron Stevens come up with and lead us in the prayer. It's going to be an interesting morning.
It's all right. We got this, right? Yes. All right. Old coach's voice. Go ahead and stand with me if you don't mind. We'll open this morning in a word of prayer. Father, we come before you this morning and are so grateful for the beautiful day you've given us, the opportunity to be here this morning to honor these students, Lord, who have worked so hard, so faithfully, and so dedicated to their academics and their athletics, their extracurricular activities, all that they've done, Father God. I pray that you would continue to bless them. We pray encouragement over their hearts and their minds as they continue to pursue now this final semester of their high school career. Lord, as they look forward to life after high school, that you would honor their decisions and their efforts to continue to do what you've called them to do. Thank you for them. Thank you for the family and friends, the teachers, administrators, community members that have surrounded them. Lord, I pray that a blessing over them as well. Thank you that we could gather together as a community. In your name we pray. Amen.
And our Superintendent, Patrick Kelly, will lead us in the pledge.
The flag is at the front. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please have a seat. At this time, I'd like to introduce Sally Myers, our founder of the Student of the Month program, to welcome you this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I was a cheerleader, so I can yell. And I want to thank Cameron, because today we're going to have to be shouting from the rooftops, right? And so our program, it's good when the weight of the microphone is in there. But just so that you all know, we are excited to have you all here today. And thank you, Mary, for all that you do. Our program began 28 years ago.
Wow.
And we began in Temecula in the 92-93 school year. And then we moved into Murrieta, up to Lake Elsinore, and Paris, Menifee. So there are 4 programs like this a month that have been going on for almost 28 years. And so with that, you can imagine we have honored over 8,000 students. And you might say, that is a lot of students. And we would say, yes, that is a lot of students. However, when you think about the amount of students from each school, and there's only one of you from your school, that really means that it's a very small group of students that receive this honor and award. We are a nonprofit organization, and I want to share a little bit about our mission statement, because it is how your son or daughters were selected today. And so we are a local recognition program honoring outstanding high school, college-bound seniors for their character, their love of learning, how these amazing students have juggled from numerous activities on campus, community service, athletics, or how our students have persevered through challenging life circumstances, all in a setting that honors God, our country, family, community, and free enterprise. I don't know where you can go and get all that in one room, but we do at Student of the Month, and we are so grateful for it. So do you have some good news for me?
I need you back here.
Oh, because of the TV. Oh, I got to be on TV. Okay. You know, that's where you take one of those things and you just pull the person right over. Okay. I can be moved, all right, very quickly. Anyway, we want to introduce all of our volunteers. They are incredible. It's why this program continues year after year, because we have incredible volunteers, because they love our students and our families and our schools. So the chair of our program and part of our scholarship application administrator is Llewellyn Fickey. Llewellyn, please stand high so everybody can see you. You all have to stand. And Jennifer Pham is our 2002 Murrieta Valley High School Student of the Year. Went off to college, has come back, and she's been volunteering with us as well. And she's not here this morning. She has 3 darling little children, and they seem to call her very early in the morning, so she doesn't always get to attend. But she wants us to let you all know what a neat honor it is for you to be here, and she just adores all of the students and hearing your stories. And Jerry Selway is also part of our scholarship administrator. She helps fulfill the scholarships to our schools. And we have Monica Gutierrez. She is with the Murrieta Valley Unified School District, and she is our publicity coordinator. And we have Andrea Canachola. She's with Costco, and I'm not sure I see Andrea yet, but she is amazing. Dan Stake from Alta Pacific Bank. Dan, you need to dash over here. Dan is our greeter. He's amazing. We appreciate you so much. So Dan, you stay up here. Andy Morris, another one of our great greeters with Farmers Insurance and wears many hats with the Marietta Chamber of Commerce and Wildemar Chamber of Commerce. Rhonda Levine, Miss Rhonda, you want to please stand? She is our communication coordinator, and I say she's the voice of the program. Why do I say that? Because she sends out these wonderful emails to all of our sponsors in our schools, and she does it in such a graceful way. And of course, Derek Gonzalez, he is our gift coordinator king and greeter, and he puts together all the gift bags for you. And we have with us Murrieta Valley Unified School District. All of that organization is great because they provide so many of the volunteers and our program for us today. And of course, Mary Walters, Miss Mary, she is our MC from the Murrieta Valley Unified School District. And our final volunteer is Catherine Pepe. Catherine, you need to dash up here too. And Catherine is with Loma Linda University Medical Center, Temecula Olive Oil Company, and she saved our daughter-in-law from just that horrendous accident she had, and you were able to get us into that neurologist, so we appreciate you so much. Our family does. These are our volunteers. Let's give them a great round of applause. We are going to be working on that microphone. And being that my husband and I own the Sizzler, this whole thing is onus on me, right? But we did put in new batteries. We're working on it. I don't know if there's a short or something. So we apologize sincerely. But you know what? We're going to shout it from the rooftops today, right? All right, Mary, it's up to you. Okay.
I'll have to put my coach's voice back on. So, we'd like to recognize our students at this time. From Murrieta Valley High School, we would like to recognize student Hans Chen and Principal Mark Pettengill. So if you could please stand. From Murrieta Canyon Academy, we have student Gio Neal Anaclecto Prieto and Principal Martina Beach Hedges. Hopefully I didn't mess up. From Springs Charter School, we have student Isabella Arnold and Principal Andrea Lieb. From Vista Murrieta High School, we have student Iris Zetlow and Principal Mick Wager. And from Murrieta Mesa High School, we have student Celeste Sanchez and Principal Steve Ellis. At this time, I'd like to introduce Patrick Ellis, our CEO of the Marietta Wildemar Chamber of Commerce, to share a few words.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, my brother.
Thanks, Kip. It's always a pleasure to be here every month that I get to come. I don't get here all the time, but this is always one of my favorite things every single month. I always try and share a little tidbit with you, the students who we're honoring here today. And I thought that, excuse me, since we just celebrated Dr. Martin Luther King's holiday here, there was a quote that he stated that I think is very appropriate for you right now and where you're at in your high school career and in your life. So he had said, I came to the conclusion that there is an existential moment in your life when you must decide to speak for yourself. Nobody else can speak for you. So keep that in mind. Obviously, you're at a point now where you're getting ready to go off to college, or you're going off to get a certificate program, or you're setting yourself up for your next stage in life. So you have to now speak for yourself, and you've probably had to do that now for the last couple of years. I'll take it one step further, though, is as you keep that in mind, is help to speak for those who can't speak for themselves too. There's people around you in your life, whether they're family, whether they're friends, that are either poor or homeless or disabled or what it might be. Keep those people in mind, because there are those who can't speak for themselves. You guys are shining stars within your communities, and take that responsibility and use that for good. Use that to help those who can't speak for themselves. We want to congratulate you for all that you guys have done. Continue to do great things. Continue to be that beacon within your community. And if there's anything that we can do to help you, please make sure you let us know. But congratulations. Enjoy this morning and enjoy your senior year. So thank you.
I'd like to thank Mr. Paul Diffley and Mr. Ken Dixon, Murrieta Unified School District board members, for being here this morning. So thank you, Paul and Ken. Yes, there we go. And I'd like to thank Rachel Pangy in the back. She's from Group 1 Production for videotaping today's event. So thank you, Rachel. And Kip Cothran from KC Photography. I'd like to thank you this morning. And the City of Murrieta for providing airtime on our Spectrum cable channel. So thank you, City of Murrieta. At this time, I'd like to introduce our sponsors, and as I call their names, I'd like them to stand. We have breakfast, scholarship, and gift sponsors, and some of our sponsors sponsor all three or two of them. You can look on the back of the program for the entire list of our sponsors. So if you can please hold your applause until I'm finished calling our names. So from A1 Tuscany Travel, we have Margaret Jones. Stand up, Margaret. From Abbott, we have Ray Evans. From Altura Credit Union, Joshua Smith. From Cal State University San Marcos, Elizabeth Erickson. From the City of Murrieta, Council Members Christy White. From DCH Honda Auto Group, El Rubio. From Eastern Municipal Water District, Roxanne Roundtree. From Elsinore Valley Municipal Water District, Bonnie Woodrome and Andy Morris. From Farmers Insurance, Andy Morris. Mr. Pat Kelly. We have Jennifer Evans from King Law Firm. From Mount San Jacinto College, we have Morris Myers and April Wardwell. From the Rotary Club of Murrieta, we have Jackie Dobbins. We have Springs Charter School, our sponsors. Catherine Pepe from Temecula Olive Oil Company. From Al Lopez from Western Municipal Water District. And Sandy Word from Which Superior Sandwiches. So let's give all of our sponsors a huge round of applause. Thank you to our sponsors. They continually support our program year after year. So students, as a student of the month, you will be invited here very shortly to complete a scholarship application for Student of the Year. You will only compete against other students of the month from your school. So the Student of the Year breakfast will be coming up in May, so you should be seeing that application coming out soon. From King Law Firm, they sponsor a class college application fee reimbursement. You will have a small card in your backpack with a website that you can go to fill out that application. So that helps with one college application fee, which is great. So now we move on to our student presentations. You will hear examples of character, college choice, and future plans. The students will share their heartfelt stories with you today. You will quickly understand why they were chosen as Students of the Month. Remember, schools, the time limit is 5 minutes per school, and I do that for the principals because they like to talk. So the principal has 1 minute, the student has 2 minutes, the teacher or staff member has a minute, and then the family has a minute to share. Students, when you come forward, we don't have a microphone, so you're going to have to speak loud just like I am. And guests, save a dry corner of your napkins for the heartfelt student presentations. And then also, please stand close together. So the principal will be in the middle, staff member on this side, student, and family. So you have to scooch together so they can get you in the picture. So at this time, I am going to introduce Principal Mark Pettengill and student Hans Chen to come forward.
It's there. This is it? Microphone? And I don't like how we all get clumped together with Mick as far as talking for a long time. So. Okay. There's a little microphone up here, so you know. It's my pleasure to introduce Marietta Valley High School Sizzler Student of the Month for January, Hans Chen. Hans was born in Taiwan and came to the United States when he was 2 years old with his parents and his brother Jay. They settled in Marietta. Hans attended Coal Canyon Elementary School before switching over to Van Avery Prep for 5th through 7th grade. He left Marietta for 3 years and came back to Thompson Middle School in the 8th grade, Marietta Valley High School his 9th grade year, and he's been with us ever since. Hans is currently second in his class. He joins a growing list of former Van Avery Prep students that have come to us, including the 2018 valedictorian and friend, Jeffrey Kim, 2019 valedictorian and January 2019 Sizzler Student of the Month, brother Jay Chen. So his parents have been through this before, and who have been top Nighthawk scholars. So his parents and I, just based on the different scholarship events we go to, this is not our first meeting our first meal together. We eat together more than many of my family members. He's been involved in speech and debate, robotics, science, Olympiad, National Honor Society, while taking many advanced placement and international baccalaureate classes. For the last 3 years, he has run the Ragnar Relays for charity with many of our IB and AP students. Ragnar Relays is a scary event where we take 60 students up into the mountains, camp out. The three of us ran the event this year. Can you guess who had the fastest time here?
The youngest one.
Can you guess who had the second fastest time here? It's an event that about 4 in the morning you run eight miles with the coyotes, and then you come back and hang out with a whole bunch of teenagers. But the interesting thing there is I just saw Hans's true leadership skills there. Hans is a sports fan, hasn't been involved in athletics a tremendous amount, but he calculates, he analyzes, and I was talking to him as I was scared to death about the 8-mile run in the middle of the night, and what do we do? And he just said, well, I think we do this and this and this. He calculated, and he when his time was like 2:15 or 2:20 last year, because he's done it 3 years running, and this year he got it down to like under 2 hours, 8 miles, middle of the night with coyotes. So he is a leader in every aspect. Hans is near fluent in 3 languages, English, Mandarin, and Spanish. He was instrumental in he's got the political side to him, in starting the Yang Gang Club on campus supporting presidential candidate Andrew Yang. As a freshman, Hans went on a humanitarian trip to a rural community in Nepal where he learned that everyone has potential. He joined Virtual Enterprise this year as his first year in Virtual Enterprise, and program coordinator Joel Levin had this to say about him. Hans has been a real asset to our Virtual Enterprise program. He took the position of CFO for his team, which is the most difficult position. He has done a tremendous job. His team placed second in the state business plan competition and will be going to New York to compete in the national championships in April. And I'm concerned about the 24 students going. They're a little bit edgy, so I'm going to need to go and support them, and I'll be in New York with them. So Hans came in with great academic success, but has greatly, this is from Mr. Levin, but has greatly improved his public speaking skills through this process. And the Virtual Enterprise Program is a phenomenal program where they'll be at Google down in Times Square area presenting, and we have seen so many students have great success there. Hans is a leader in that program. I'm very proud of Hans and look forward to his continued progress and success. Hans is a quiet leader in everything that he does. He is a great example of doing everything the right way with respect, integrity, teamwork, and excellence. I proudly introduce to you Marietta Valley High School's Sizzler Student of the Month for January, Hans Chen.
Well, good morning to everyone, and thank you for being here. And so I'd like to thank Miss Inouye. She has been a very instrumental part in my success in high school. She's my English teacher, but she's been one of the advisors for Ragnar and has allowed me to be able to adventure out into the wilderness and run 15 miles in the dark most of the time. I'd like to thank my parents. They've been there for me for most of my life. They've pushed me to who I am. The main reason why I've been able to succeed to the level where I am is because of my parents, providing me with opportunities and allowing for me to become the student that I am. I think my Dr. P here, he's been, well, the principal, he's been running the school. So without the principal, the school doesn't really function that well. The thing I'll be taking with me to college for sure is the fact that it's so important to set goals. If you don't set goals in life, you won't get anywhere. You'll be wandering around pointlessly, but when you set goals, you have a path there. Before I started my freshman year, I stumbled upon a video of a speaker saying that him and his friend were in Central Park and there was someone giving out free bagels. His friend, after waiting for 10 minutes, said, "Why don't we just leave because this is pointless?" While the speaker said, "But there's a free bagel." So what I got out of this was that even though it's a long journey, there'll be lots of obstacles in the path. It's important to always keep your eye on the goal, on the target. And how I've been able to use this was every year I set goals for what I want to do by the end of the year. I want to maintain a high academic status. I want to join all these clubs and do very well in it. And for college, I have decided that I wanted to major. I set a goal by deciding that I wanted to major in mechanical engineering. And hopefully one day work at one of the top firms in the world. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Ann.
Okay. My name's Ms. Inouye, and I've had the honor of having Hans as a student for 3 years, almost 3 years. So Hans's achievements are many, as evidenced by obviously his perfect academic transcript and his 16 or so AP or IB courses, and he can write a stellar AP essay in 40 minutes and an amazing 2-hour IB essay. So without even breaking a sweat. Every once in a while, I glance out at my class, and you can see some of them. They're very, very focused, and the stress is dripping off of them. And I look out, and Hans will sometimes make eye contact with me, and he'll do this. So he'll smile, and he'll just shake his head, and then he'll go back to work. He has such a good, positive attitude when he faces challenge that I think that is key in life. I have also obviously had him as a Ragnar team captain this year, which you already heard about. He led 8 teams, which is more teams than we've ever had before, from sophomores all the way through seniors, out into the wild. Some of these students have never ran before. They started at base 1 mile, to get and built to 15 miles, and that is all part of Hans's success, is to help motivate these students. Many of them are not my students. They're recruited from across the entire campus, and those high school students need leaders that they respect and admire in order for us to take them out into an unmonitored situation. You can't watch 60 some odd students out there in the dark. And so he was part of that effort, and I am so appreciative. I can't even express. I do have to say that Hans took on the challenge this year also of running that 8-mile loop at night. He did not want to. The way his team was built, we had some injuries, and there were some individuals that were a little worried they'd never ran before, so send them out in the middle of the night. With the first mile of the Red Loop is 1 mile uphill. So it's strenuous, and we were really concerned, and with a little persuasion, just a little, Hans was willing to do it, and when you came back, you don't know this. So I watched him leave the tent because I really, really wanted to see him do that. I knew that this was not his comfort zone. And I was napping in my tent because we all are different schedules, and so we have to sleep at certain times. And I heard you come in to camp, and you were talking to Madison, and the energy, the excitement, and possible relief as he described his adventure out there in the darkness just made me laugh out loud in my tent. But it was such a positive reaction overall and relief that he did it. I knew you could do it all along, or else I would not have sent you out there in the dark. But thank you. Thank you for doing that. I do appreciate it. I know that academics are his forte. Taking on a trail running event took bravery. I can't get a lot of adults to do it. Dr. P is one of the few. And he took a year off. So once in a while, he took a year off. He showed a willingness to try the new, even if that called for a commitment of hours and hours of a physical duress that's mixed in with all the hours and hours these students have to do well academically. Plus, he works as well during the week. So for these perfect students, sometimes courting failure is even more scary than for us mere mortals. It showed me a confidence in self, even in an untested arena. Think about the last time that you all were uncomfortable, scared, facing something you've never done before. It is that drive that I see in his academic commitment and that spirit that will take him far. I sincerely want to say thank you for the years. I feel blessed to have known you, and I respect you probably more than you even know. I see in you the best of human beings and the best of Marietta Valley. Thank you so much.
Now it's my turn. Good morning. I am Paul Chen. I'm Hans' daddy, of course. So I was asked to prepare a speech, but I was surprised. I was thought like 30 seconds, but now they told me a minute. But it's like this short. I definitely will finish in time. So appreciate that the chance that we can have here, and I'm truly honored to be his dad since he did very, very well on everything. And I can't believe it's almost been a year since we were here at the same occasion last year with his brother Jay. Same events like Dr. P said, right? And yeah. Time flew very fast, and to me, it just feel like yesterday we brought Hans, I promise I won't embarrass you, to preschool, watching him, and it's just like yesterday we watched you to play the first flag football, and then he was a quarterback over there. However, after a few games, we know, okay, he's not Tom Brady. But he did a very, very good job, academically and especially on the extracurricular like Science Olympia, and he actually won several medals in the regional competitions. Now, he is the captain of the Science Olympia of Marietta Valley High School. 2 weeks ago, he just gave a very inspirational speech to his teammate. And I'm not sure about his teammate, but after that, I feel very pumped up to help his team to compete the Science Olympia. From there, I know he actually has a passion to do Science Olympia stuff. And I believe, to me, is to be passionate at something is always more important than anything. Because if you don't know anything, basically nowadays you have many, many ways to acquire knowledge for that. However, that's one thing you cannot acquire. It's a passion. Without a passion, basically, we will probably just work like a machine. So Hans, I remember still several years ago when we flew somewhere for vacation, he was still preparing his scripts for the upcoming debate event. So from that, I know you are very passionate about everything. When you are passionate, you work very hard to get it. And Hans, Mom and I know you are ready to spread your wings, to explore your world. Please remember one thing, bring your passion to everyone and respect for everything to everyone. And okay, I think that's all I want to say. Thanks everyone, I'm really glad to be here.
Thank you. No mic. I thought that little mic was working.
Hello, hello, hello. Let the sun shine. Okay, we're gonna try this.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll put it back in.
Next up, Martina Beach Hedges, principal at Marietta Canyon Academy.
Yay, I'm glad that this is here. Although I have a coach's voice, I would have been fine without it. I actually am more worried about Gio, and you'll find out why in a second, because he's kind of quiet. So I just want to thank all the sponsors for this morning. It's one of my favorite days of the month. And I just want to congratulate all the seniors in Marietta that are here today. Congratulations. I'm hearing stories that I'm sure you're all well deserved. I'm here to talk about Gio, our student from MCA. I don't know him very well. I just want to say to you, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But the thing with Gio, he is a transfer from Vista Marietta, so thank you, Vista. He's in the top of our class at MCA. He was co-enrolled last year, and then I guess he just decided that he just wanted to be with us. So sorry, Vista. But part of it is, I think he came to us because he struggled a little bit academically and looking at his transcript, but I don't know how, because he's such an amazing student. He's so on track that he's only at our site every other day, which leads me to my story. So how we do our Student of the Month is that they're nominated from our teachers, because of course I don't know all students, I know a lot of them. They're nominated from our staff. So our staff nominated, a staff member, Tom, nominated Gio, and so then I send it out and they're like, oh yeah, Gio, oh yeah, Gio, oh yeah, he's like, you get like, I get a, like, all these teachers, yeah, Gio, oh yeah, Gio. I'm like, okay, great, Gio, so Gio is it. So I put him on there, and so then I need to tell him that he's the Student of the Month. So I'm trying to find Gio. I'm like, gosh, where's Gio? And like our schedules kept, you know, I was at meetings and he'd be at school and then I couldn't catch him, and I'm calling him, and I shared this with him. I'm like, you do not know how long it took me to find you. I had to get the staff in the office to actually stop him, and I said, even if you have to handcuff him to your chair and call me that he's here. And it's so funny, I was sharing this story in the office, and they're like, one of my millennial staff said, I know, it's hard to believe that I'm not a millennial, but one of my millennials said, oh, he's ghosting you, Miss Beach. Me as a former English teacher needed to find out exactly what that meant. I'm like, is he purposely avoiding me? And they're like, oh, he would never do that to the principal, you know. So I asked him, and he's like, no, he's just hardly ever at our school because he's doing so well. But he's doing well in our school. He's going to graduate. Like, he probably could finish his classes quickly if he wanted to. He's just doing amazing, and he's totally a representation of all the great things and all the great students at MCA. So I'm probably going to mess up his name too, but I just want to introduce you to Gio Neal Anticleto Prieto.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gio Prieto, and I'm just going to share my background to you guys. I was born on November 7, 2000 in Davao City, Philippines, or some may know as the Pearl of the Orient. I love dancing, but I couldn't say the same for singing. But I am an athletic person and someone who spends a lot of time on video games and geeking on computers. One word I could describe my personality, it would be funny. My hardworking parents, mom and my dad, Nilo. We also migrated late November 2016 in the United States. I don't have anything much to say, but I would love to share to you guys my personal story. A personal story I could share today is very meaningful to me, and people always speak and let it spread for awareness. In the middle of 2017, we transferred state because of my mom's work. Though we didn't know anyone from that state, and it was really hard adapting to the community, and it wasn't really that versatile. I've had a hard time finding a proper school where I could fit in. One school I attended was just near our home, but sadly I wasn't really welcome and didn't feel like myself. It started with a little sadness, and then it went over and over again, and really felt lonely and alone. I got really depressed where I couldn't even sleep at night, eat, and be anxious all the time. Later then, my sister knew that I'm not being who am I, the joyous comedic person I was. I got into a rehab facility and went there for a week. I wouldn't say it's the best experience, but the appreciation of the people around me was just overwhelmingly surprising. Then my mom decided that we can go back here where our families and friends are. Though I went to Vista for a year and met most of my friends in there, but still I was still adjusting and failing most of my classes I took. Later got enrolled to Marietta Canyon, which was really scary, but I spoke too soon. The teacher staff in there are just breathtaking. They would sacrifice to see the kid improve. I must say, after the whole situation I was at, it gave me a whole reason to live and enjoy the life. The opportunities they give, it's just like, I only have to add salt and it would be the best dish. First of all, I just want to thank my parents for their infinite support, my family, friends, and especially teachers and staff. I want to thank Mr. Jaber for giving a glimpse of my hard work. Without him, I wouldn't be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Gio. My name is Mr. Jabro, and I'm here to represent the staff of Murrieta Canyon Academy in congratulating Gio on Student of the Month. Just give him another round of applause. I can speak for the staff in saying that it's no wonder that with Gio's story that we've all heard, that he gives us a sense of hope for the future and strengthens our faith in the future about our young generation who will help make the decisions in our world for mankind and for humanity in general. So with Gio's attention to detail and his value of education, we, the staff of Murrieta Canyon Academy, congratulate Gio on his achievements. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nilo, and I'm Gio's father. First, yeah, it's true. We came up here in the United States for 3 years now. We stayed in Memphis because of my wife's work. So there was a lot of challenges that we made to face in there. But after 2 years, we decided to come back here in Murrieta because there's a lot of problems that we face in there, especially with my sons in school. Something happens. When you say it, I have to say it's like when you're bullied in the school, there's a lot of things that are going to be affected in your studies. So it came for us that we decided to come back here, and now it came up that we're surprised, but Gio was a quiet kind of person, and just like me as well. And I was surprised that we got this recognition award that made happen today, and we're so thankful for everyone that made it possible this day, and actually I want to say something for Gio. whatever the future plans that you may do, we're here, the parents, we supported you, especially for the good for yourself, for the family, especially for the nation, for everyone. And we're here to support you, as we all. Thank you, Dan.
Sorry, I forgot a little part.
So after graduation, I was thinking of joining the Navy straight after graduating, but also I thought of trying out college first and see where that leads me. If I have the passion to do my work now, I might as well just try out college.
In computer engineering. So, okay, so next we have Springs Charter, Principal Andrea Lieb and student Isabella Arnold.
Hi, good morning. I'm going to be on my toes. I'm honored to be here, part of the Murrieta Chamber Breakfast. This is the 6th year in a row that Springs has been a part of this program. Well, I personally have been a part of this program. I'm the principal of Venture Online, which is one of the many programs at Springs Charter Schools with over 9,000 students. So every month we rotate, and I'm just very honored because unlike many of our principals here today, we see our students through a virtual environment in a Hangout, right, in a Google Hangout. So one of the best things that I get to do is actually meet our students and meet our families. Our teacher is actually in Hawaii, so I do have something to read for him after Bella has a chance to introduce herself. But I'm honored to recognize Bella Arnold today and meet her parents. She's actually been able to complete her senior year in one semester. I think that deserves a big shout out. And in an online program, I'm sure you know, it takes a very good work ethic to be able to complete a semester, a year's worth of work in a semester. And Bella has shown that she's been able to achieve great success in our online program. She was actually in a regular public school and decided that she wanted to take her education into her own hands and complete that independently so that she could accelerate her education and pursue her interest. And when I got to meet Bella with Matt in a hangout so that I can learn more about her, I learned that her interests are outside the box, much like a lot of the students in our program. Our program was designed by me with the help of Springs Charter Schools with an online background so that students could pursue their passions, much like one of our parents said today. And I totally believe that if you follow your passion, you will find success. It's so important. I'm very passionate about student success, so I'm even more excited about that. So Bella is very interested in learning about trading and currency and finance, and my goal is to help her develop a foundation for that and to look at some foundation finance courses to get started with because she's got a head start next semester. So with that, I'd like to introduce to you Isabella Arnold.
Hi, good morning. So like she said, I switched sophomore year. I came really close to dying. I had a bad medical experience. And then I went back to school. I was gone for a month. It was really hard to go back. I wasn't happy with anything really. So my parents, they let me switch to online, which helped me just become a better me. A life lesson I've learned is that just find happiness. That's the ultimate key. It sounds cliche, but just happiness. And don't wait to do anything. Just go in for it, yeah. Like you said, after graduation, I'm gonna go into currency trading. Thought that's pretty cool. Finance is kind of fun, just numbers, yeah. These are my parents. I don't really know what else to say. That's it.
It's okay. I always say if it's uncomfortable, go there. You'll be better at it, right? So it's a great opportunity, I think, for students to come up and be able to stand in front of all of you and say what their goals are. So here's Mr. Sherman. He's in Hawaii. He's Bella's teacher, and this is what he had to say. Bella Arnold has been my student for the past 13 months, for her second half of junior year through to now, her graduation week. I have been her homeroom teacher, her math teacher, and the teacher of some of her electives throughout this time period. She has been one of my best students during this time frame. Our school is quite unique. Student work mostly from home independently and thus require a great deal of self-motivation and discipline to be successful, on top of the traditional characteristics of successful students. Bella has demonstrated great success at meeting and exceeding all expectations. Additionally, she has been engaged in her local community and family and is a joy of a person to communicate with and be around. I am honored for her to represent Spring Starter School and Venture Online at this prestigious event. She will be a successful young adult with a high school diploma and will be a great representative of our community into the future. And now I'd like to introduce her parents.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming out. I just have a few things to say about Miss Isabella. She is an introvert. She's very shy, as you guys probably could tell, until you get to know her, and then she'll blow you away. She'll come at you full speed. One of my favorite things about her is her tenacity. If she sinks her teeth into something, it's gonna happen. So I hope she becomes the President of the United States one day. And it's gonna be my challenge to make sure I direct her in the right way to get her to sink her teeth into the right thing. Because no matter what she does in life, she's gonna kill it. So I'm very proud of you.
You're welcome. And next up, I'd like to introduce Mick Wager from Vista Murrieta High School. Thank you.
Brought your transcript up unintentionally. Congratulations, everybody. It's good morning. Come on, you gotta come in nice and close, like you like me. We were our student of the month, Iris Zello, is her passion. We're talking a lot about passion this morning. Is musical theater. Mr. Finch is her director, drama director at Vista Murrieta High School. People who know me know that I don't shy away from the stage. So we were going to do a musical number to introduce her. We planned it all out because the microphone wasn't working, but the mic's working now. Plus, Dr. P used way too much time, so you can blame him. So we're just going to do it the regular way. Anywho, as I said, our choice for a student of the month is Iris. I keep saying Irish. Where does that come from? I don't know. Iris Zetlow, and she's the epitome of our school's motto of class, character, leadership, attitude, scholarship, and service, and she greatly exceeds in each of these measures. Iris has a long and impressive list of accomplishments, but really what makes Iris stands out is her incredibly positive attitude. When you are lucky enough to meet someone like Iris, it's easy to think, oh, what a happy young lady. She just lights up the room, which she does, and she's so nice and helpful, which she is. And she must have been born that way. Wow, it must be nice to be wired that way. But the truth is, she works at it very hard. She chooses to have a positive attitude. She chooses to be helpful. She chooses to lead, and she chooses to achieve academically. And she works very hard at it. Like I said, with all of these students, it's easy just to think, whoa, how lucky for them. But all of you work so hard at it, and you have to remember that it's a decision. Logging over 400 hours of community service doesn't happen on its own. She has chosen to serve in her church, helping with the children's ministry, Vacation Bible School, as well as helping outside the church and community theater, logging many hours there as well. Iris came to Vista Murrieta as a freshman, already having made a name for herself in the community as Miss Murrieta Junior Teen 2015, Miss Inland California Junior Teen 2016, which involved myriad of duties of pageant life, as we call it, learning how to wave. No, I'm kidding. She probably had that down. Such as attending Chamber of Commerce events and mixers and parades and all kinds of duties. But Iris really found her passion in musical theater, something she's been involved in for the past decade, playing multiple leads in the plays that she's involved in. She was at, I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but Hairspray, that was last year, right?
Yes.
I was outside the school at Temecula Valley Players. She played the lead in that, and she was absolutely incredible. She was involved in an intensive 3-week musical theater institute at UCLA this past summer. She got some college credit for that, and we'll soon get to see her on stage again next month on the Vista stage as the daughter who turns into the mom in Freaky Friday, directed by Mr. Corey Finch. Yes. Tickets are now available. I don't think that. Thought I'd throw in a commercial. Tickets available soon. Iris is an awesome singer who's involved in the Vista Murrieta Chamber Choir and Jazz Choir, and she'll be traveling with the group to New York this April. Maybe they'll run into Virtual Enterprise. I don't know. And where they'll be singing at Carnegie Hall, which is impressive. Iris is also a leader. She's the president of our school's Student Venture Club. She's the vice president of the ASL Club. And of course, she's in Drama Club and has been a Link Crew leader for the last 2 years, helping freshman students adapt to high school. Iris is the Fine Arts Commissioner in our ASB and has earned the Riverside County Office of Education's, and Mrs. Walters will be happy to hear this, the Multi-Literacy Seal in American Sign Language, which takes extraordinary effort to do. On top of all this, Iris maintains a 4.2 GPA, has challenged herself by taking 10 advanced placement and college dual enrollment courses. And getting to know Iris, though, you realize all these accolades were not simply sought out to build her resume, but were a natural outcome of a young lady following her passion and choosing to do her absolute best. And so I'm honored to know you, Iris, and proud to call you a Bronco, and pleased that you are our choice as this month's Senior Student of the Month. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wager. I'd first like to thank Senior Student of the Month for having me in the Marietta Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for all of our sponsors that are giving us the recognition, me along with all these amazing students that are here with me today. I'd like to thank my support system. I have my dad Michael here, my stepmom Tracy, my uncle Frank, and my aunt Kimberly here. I'm so thankful for all of their support. And I do want to stress Mr. Wager's point of making a decision to be happy, making the decision to pursue your passions is very important to me. My freshman year, my whole family was struck with tragedy. My mother passed away tragically to a heart attack, very abruptly, and I had to choose joy. I had to choose to still pursue my passions, although we were dealing with grief at home and our whole family was struck with the tragedy. But I'm so happy to say that I've found my passions. I've been pursuing theater for the past decade, and I do plan to pursue a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Musical Theater. I have about 15 college auditions next month for various programs throughout the country. I'll be traveling to Chicago and Los Angeles to audition for these various programs. I'm very, very lucky that my support system allows me and funds me to be able to do so. Thank you so much. And I'm just so fortunate to have a support system. I have my director here, Mr. Corey Finch, who has seen me through all 4 years of high school and has supported me in my endeavors. And even though I am going on the alternate career path of entertainment, I do want to stress the motto of class, character, leadership, attitude, scholarship, and service. As I go into my future career, I'm very, very fortunate to be able to call myself a Bronco. I believe everything Vista stands for, and I will stand by that for the rest of my life. Thank you so much, and here's Mr. Corey Finch.
Good morning. Thank you for so many things. Everyone that puts this event on, the administrators, the board members, Sizzler, all of the donors that make it happen. Being a production person, I understand there's a lot of background stuff that it takes to do something like this. But and selfishly, thank you for breakfast and just for having me here to hang out with Iris and her family as we have breakfast and conversation. Truly, passion has come up many times this morning, and Iris is so passionate about so many things. She wears so many hats that Mr. Wager has already told you. She's also, I don't know if choir came up, but she's a big leader in the choir program as well. And she's just a great mentor to other students. Her ability to make the choice to find happy, to find this is, every day is going to be a great day, even when it's not, and we've had those conversations. But she really does make a choice, and she really sets an example for other students. And to be able to do that and to hold herself really with grace, I think is a great word for Iris. She's so graceful, and she's so poised, and she's so eloquent, and she speaks well, and intelligent, and talented. It's amazing, and I am so fortunate as a drama teacher that many years ago I taught English, and you make some great connections with kids, but many times you see that student for 1 year, and they're not necessarily back in your class because, you know, they get older, you're not teaching the same grade level or something like that. But here, doing what we do, the extracurricular program, and being in a program of an elective of choice, and that matches a passion. And for Iris to be able to have those connections for 4 years, it's truly remarkable. And to know you as a person, I'll talk to you, but to know you as a person, and to know you as a student, and to see the great things that you do, and seeing that growth from freshman year till now, and then just that big question mark of what's next for Iris. And like she said, many auditions are on the way as we've talked, and we're keeping fingers crossed that she has just many choices, and I know that you will. I know that you'll get accepted to every school, and then it just comes down to which one is best for me, right? Me, you. What is best for you? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's all good for me because, you know, I get to work with Iris, but what's best for her? And I know that so many wonderful opportunities are going to be there for you, and I'm so proud of you. Congratulations.
I'll make this brief. I'm very proud of what Iris has achieved in these past 4 years, and I couldn't imagine with the loss that we had early on, that the community, the city, the church embraced Iris and parented on Iris when I couldn't. So I'm just enormously proud, as is my wife Tracy, and her uncle Frank, and Kimmy here today, and just she's gonna do amazing things, and I'm glad you're all here to see the start of it. Thank you.
All right, that's great. Next up, we have from Marietta Mesa High School, Mr. Steve Ellis.
Good morning, my name is Steve Ellis, and I'm the principal at Marietta Mesa High School, where I'm privileged to get to work with incredible students like the young lady you're about to meet. First, I'd like to congratulate all the other students, parents, educators, community members that have a role in this, right? It takes a village. This is a good village. I've said it before. I'll say it every month. This is a good place to be. It's a good place to be a kid. Even though sometimes, oh, it's Marietta, but we know. I'd also like to thank Sally, Jennifer, Llewellyn, all the sponsors for putting on this great day. This is my favorite morning of the month, and I love that I get to come back to this after missing a couple. I wasn't disciplined or anything like that. There was medical issues. This morning, it is my pleasure to introduce you to Marietta Mesa's Senior of the Month for January, Celeste Sanchez. Celeste is a very good student with over, that's just funny because it says very good. It should say excellent or exemplary student because her GPA is over 4.3 through 7 semesters of high school. She continues to take a rigorous course. In fact, this year there's 6 AP and dual enrollment courses. Celeste is also very involved on our campus, being in Key Club for 3 years, including being president this year. In Key Club, she's led several projects, including raising money to help train support dogs for people who suffer with PTSD, donation drive for toys for the local animal shelter. She plays a huge part in organizing and helping at our Share the Harvest event. She's also vice president of our Model United Nation Club, a member of CSF, NHS, part of our Link Crew, our STEM Club, and she's participated in RILA, which is the Rotary Youth Leadership Award, which is a leadership training program for selected youth. Celeste has recorded hundreds of hours of community service, and most recently she's getting a lot of those hours at one of our local senior centers, helping with seniors in our community. On paper, or what I just read to you, it is clear why Celeste would be considered for today's recognition. Her accomplishments and involvements are impressive, but as is the case with when the Mesa staff votes on this, these accomplishments are not why Celeste is here today. Celeste is here because she's positive and kind. She's helpful. She truly cares about others and their successes. She always has a smile to share. She's a leader and a positive role model for her peers. She's actually a role model for all of us. Celeste was selected by staff not because of what she does for herself or what she does for Mesa. She was selected by her staff because of what she does for others. It is clear that Celeste embodies Mesa pride, purpose, responsibility, integrity, duty, and excellence better than most. Mesa is a better place because of her and the legacy she will be leaving. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Celeste Sanchez. You're right. You're right. No, you're right. You're good. I got it.
Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Ellis, and good morning, everybody. My name is Celeste Sanchez, and with me today are my mom, my dad, and my sister. They have collectively raised me to be the person that I am today, and I will forever be grateful for all the opportunities and the love that they have given me over my 17 years of life. So I'd like to start today by saying thank you, Mom, thank you, Dad, and thank you, Cynthia. The staff member I chose to accompany me today is my Key Club advisor, Mr. Halakis. He has seen me grown from a shy member of Key Club sophomore year to then being the treasurer as a junior, and then now currently as the president of Key Club. He has given me one of the best lessons of all, which is how to lead. At the beginning of the year, I was struggling a little bit to delegate because even though my sister might disagree with me, I find it hard to tell people what to do. But it was, I did find it a little bit difficult to distribute responsibilities, especially since the remaining officers on the executive board for Key Club were my friends. But he was honest with me and he told me that that business is business and if I'm gonna lead, that I need to step up and be a president. And that was the push that I needed in order to be the leader that I am today. So to Mr. Halakis, thank you. Without you, Key Club would not be making such a positive impact on the community. For my future, I plan to stay in California. I love it here. And I plan to attend either UC Riverside or Cal Poly Pomona to pursue biomedical engineering and biotechnology. My goal is to improve the medical industry as well as give back to the community medically because I've seen personally through volunteer work helping senior citizens, many of whom are veterans, and also with special needs students. I'm the current treasurer of the Special Olympics for Link Crew at Marietta Mesa. And so working with special needs students, I can see how far small little medical adjustments can really improve somebody's standards of life. So before becoming engrossed in academics and community service, one of my main activities was pitching for softball. I had been taught by the same pitching coach for over 5 years until unfortunately he passed away a few summers ago. He was a very good person. His name was Ken Elderts, and because pitching requires a lot of dedication and discipline, he had always said that if you do the work, it shows, and if you don't, it shows. Though that was about pitching, I have applied it to many aspects of my life. I did have an injury that prevents me from playing softball and pitching today, but because of what he said, I was able to reinvent myself to be able to self-identify as somebody who is driven by community service and making an impact around me. and which is something that I'll carry with me, that hard work really does pay off. And if you work really hard towards something, whether it be towards good grades or just making a difference around you, anybody who knows you will know your character. So with that, the work will show when I walk across stage at graduation, when I frame my degree in bioengineering, and when my biotech company, Celestial Innovations, is founded. So, thank you. Lastly, I would like to thank all of the sponsors and the people that make this event possible. It's because of your generosity and commitment to the community that students like all of us here today are inspired to be who we are. So thank you all. Now I'd like to introduce one of my mentors, Mr. Halleckis.
I was warned that Mr. Ellis would kind of steal some of my material before I came up, so most of the things that I would like to mention is I'm not really coming from the academic end, since I am the advisor for Key Club. And the thing is, Celeste makes Key Club happen. She is determined, she's driven, and she's committed. And through her efforts, you have the most membership. We've had the highest donations based upon her. And she's even worked with Model United Nations to sell fresh popcorn at football games. There's been a lucrative fundraiser. So I had a lot more to say, but again, it got taken from me. The amazing thing about Celeste is this. Accomplishments, even academic, by the way, and Miss Leroy wanted to give you a shout out during this meeting because she's a wonderful math student, is that she does all this with grace and positivity, and that aspect of her is what makes it all roll. I'm really proud and honored that you selected me to give this opportunity to speak about you. And I actually looked up your name to find out what Celeste meant. And we knew it was all celestial, but there's one little phrase in Spanish that means luminary. And I think you can fulfill that really well. You're a beautiful soul. Thanks a lot.
I didn't know that, Mr. Halleckis. Thank you. I'll use it when I start my company. Now I'd like to introduce my beautiful and loving mother.
Good morning, everyone. I was told that we were only going to have 30 seconds to speak, but I think I might go a little bit over. 30 seconds is not enough for me to share with you the Celeste that we live with at home and that we know her. Particularly, myself, my husband, and her sister can tell you that she's always kept us on her toes. We know that Celeste is very nice, very kind. She's always smiling. She's always there. But however, there's the Celeste that lives at home. We always find her and we always brace, because when we see her staring out into the middle of nothing, you know that she's thinking. And if she's thinking, then we just have to sit there and wait, because what she has to tell us is like, oh no. So we sometimes tell her, no, it can't be done. No, it's going to be difficult. No, this is going to require challenges or hard work. And I don't think that she hears us tell her this, because she continues to pursue and move forward with her ideas and just focuses on them. And then we somehow end up being recruited and thanked for volunteering when we didn't. So, it's very difficult. Popcorn sales being one of them. I didn't volunteer, but I ended up doing work. One of the things that I want to share with you with Celeste is that when I myself, and I believe my husband and my daughter can also share with me, is that the early memories that we have that Celeste was not one to hold back or to be told no, was back when preschool was over. It was in May of 2006, and she says, we're going to have a little presentation for all the students where they're going to share with us what they want to be when they grow up. So, Celeste, her, after all the other students have said they want to be princesses, teachers, firemen, all the normal, here comes Celeste. She's walking up the stage. She's stomping on her heels because she needed to be heard. Her pigtails, because she had no hair, with just a little couple hair up there, just swinging in the air. She says, she gets up to the podium and she says, "I want to be a horse rider." And I was like, oh, okay. Everybody wants to be everything, and here comes Celeste, and she wants to be a horse rider. What she tells me after is, because horses don't stop and horses don't have any limits. So she was going to be that person on that horse without limits, without horizons, without boundaries, because she's going to go ahead and do something with her life. Today I can tell you that Celeste has still not gotten off that horse. She's still moving forward. She will not stop. She will not give up. As many times as we say no, as many times we say this is a challenge, she does not hear the word challenge. I'm very proud of you, because I told her sometimes, don't listen to me. I'm very proud of you for continuing and for pursuing what it is that you love and that you like, and for taking my advice and just doing what it is that you love. Proud of you. Thank you.
All right, now I'd like to bring up Mary Walters. Oh, you guys are done.
Well, thank goodness we have the mic back. I don't have to yell at you anymore. But we had wonderful stories this morning, didn't we? Some great stories of passion, positive attitude, our students choosing happiness, and their determination. So let's give them all a round of applause again. At this time, I'd like to invite our dignitaries to come over here. We have Council Member Christy White from the City of Murrieta. We have John Hunneman from Senator Jeff Stone's office, Casey Deaver from Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez's office, and Mr. Patrick Kelly from the Murrieta Valley Unified School District. While they're coming up, students, I have thank you notes for you. So, all of the donors, we love these thank you notes. So we've done a really nice job for you, so you have some thank you notes to write. But you don't have to worry about handwriting all the addresses. You have labels, and you don't even have to send them out. That's all you have to do is give them to your principal, and they will take it from there. So isn't that awesome? That's all you have to do is thank you notes. We like thank you notes. So at this time, who am I going to turn it over to? John, you going to go first? We're going to have John Hunneman come up first, so thank you.
That's politely called a smattering of applause. Hi, I'm here. I'm John Hunneman, now representing the 28th Senate District, and it's hard to believe 28 years ago that this program started. I was at the very first one at the Sizzler in Temecula when Sally came up with this idea of honoring local students, and it's grown up since then. And it's always great to hear the stories. It's always great to meet the parents, to see some of the faculty members that are still around from when my kids went to Ovaha and Chavela and Murrieta Valley High School. And how proud we are of you, and how proud we are of our community that we've built here. There was one school here when I moved here. Chuck Vander Wettering, the superintendent, had a corner office next to the multi-purpose room, I think, and that was how this district has grown. I want to congratulate you. I want you, we talked briefly earlier about this week we honored Dr. Martin Luther King, and I'm old enough to remember Dr. King, although I was just a teenager when he left us. And as a newspaper columnist for the Californian for many years, I used to take this day and just offer up quotes from Dr. King, who's very inspiring. I mean, if you ever get a chance to read letters from a Birmingham jail, go ahead and do that. But I do have a favorite quote from his, and I'd like to leave you with this and congratulate all the students. And luckily I have my phone, so it's right here. Dr. King said, "If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, 'Here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well.'" Be the best you can be. I know you will. Congratulations.
You know, it's always fun to follow people that have quotes and everything prepared, so here we go. No, anyway, my name is Casey Deaver. I'm with Assemblywoman Melissa Melendez's office. It's always such a fun opportunity to come to these, to see the great things that are already being done by the many students already at such a young age, and looking forward to the many things they're going to promote and bring back to our communities. And so it's always a fun, inspirational moment that we all get to share. So just remember, to students, that this is your time. Enjoy this day. Brag to your friends. So show them the thing that's on TV. But yeah, just remember and just enjoy this. This is the last little bit before you move forward, so enjoy it. So continue it. Congratulations on behalf of the Assemblywoman, and thank you so much for letting us be a part of it. So thank you so much.
Good morning. My name is Christy White. I am Marietta City Councilwoman. City of Marietta Mayor couldn't be here this morning, but on behalf of Mayor Jean Wunderlich, Mayor Pro Tem Scott Vitton, and my other council colleagues, I want to congratulate not only the parents, but the students and our school district. It's so wonderful. When I'm out talking about the things that go on in Marietta and why businesses should come to Marietta, one of the things that I'm able to say firsthand is how proud we are and what a dynamic, diverse school district that we have that really puts the foundation together for excellence, and hopefully all the students will grow, live, and then return and play back in Marietta as you develop your careers. It's really an honor to be here today. My day job, in addition to being council, is I work for Brandman University in corporate and community relations, and Brandman University is connected to Chapman University, which is a traditional four-year college. We're all students, whether we're parents or community members. I'm going to go over what I learned today as a student: to have goals and direct your actions, to use your passions, to seek out and maintain hope, that parents provide a strong support system for students. If something is uncomfortable, someone said, face it. Be kind. You never know what challenges an individual is facing. There are a lot of external accomplishments that we spoke about today. But there are also accomplishments of self-mastery, and I really want to give Gio Prieto, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name, Gio, and your family a shout out, because you're really mastering the foundation of self-mastery, and that's the foundation for any success. So I really want to acknowledge you. You really spoke to my heart. Choose to find happiness and to do the work required to achieve something your results will show. So just in closing, that education is really a powerful tool that you can use to change the world. I want to give a shout out also. There's a teacher shortage in California, and the teachers that are here today and in our Marietta Valley School District, Unified School District, are special, and they mean a lot. It's a noble profession, and congratulations to everyone on your accomplishments, and celebrate for the rest of the day, and thank you for allowing me to be here.
Well, good morning. I'm Pat Kelly, and I'm the very, very proud superintendent of Marietta Valley Unified School District, and that pride really comes out on mornings such as this. In my church community, we're going through a series right now that talks about generations and the impact of generations and as they flow back and forth. And we learn about the tremendous importance about looking backwards and honoring those who have come before us, and the values and work ethic and different positive attributes that they have instilled within our community and in our world. But we also talk about looking forward. And so today, as we listen to our group of students, and this was a very, very diverse group of students, but what they had in common is every single one of them had something in their life that was a significant shaper of who they have become today. And it's so incredible because many times it's, could be very vogue, or you turn on TV and you can hear people easily bash young people. And I say it almost every month, and I'll say it again today, this month, and how strongly I feel about it. This generation is special. They are outward looking. They are focused in ways that other generations haven't been. And that is going to bode well, very well, for our world. And we need to honor them and listen to those voices. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has been spoken of several times this morning. And I think it was Patrick Ellis who talked about to be able to speak for those who don't speak for themselves. And that's one of the things that this generation does. They do it beautifully. They have a lot to say, and it's so important to listen. Students, congratulations. Parents, congratulations even more. What a great, great morning. And I feel very optimistic and positive about our future. Congratulations.
So we are getting ready to close our program this morning. So once again, congratulations, students and families and sponsors and staff. We will be taking pictures out front here after our program. Students, you'll need to pick up your backpack with all of your items in there and all of your gift certificates and your thank you notes. And we will have those pictures. So we want to conclude our program this morning with Sally Myers, who likes to share just a minute with Maxwell.
You know, this is truly one of the highlights of my month every time, being able to come and hear your stories and to know that we all come into this room. We know the folks from our school and some of the community members, but we don't know everybody. And the time we leave, we really know everyone, and we know those special golden nuggets about each one of the students and some special maybe history and foundation of our families. And as you've heard from the dignitaries and from Mary, everyone shared a little bit about what they gathered from today, and I like to do a little bit of the same. And so I'm going to ask Hans to stand. Mr. Hans, I have just a few words of that we heard about you today, words that really spoke to my heart. And when you talked about your lessons and you talked about setting goals and knowing that you have to have a path and that there are many obstacles along the way, but how you are able to be a disciplined person and be able to keep your eye on the goal and not get distracted. And it's interesting because there's so many things in each one of our lives, day in and day out, where there are things that are distractors. And you can still stand because I'm still talking about you. Don't be shy. And I'm just excited that at your young age that you have already learned how to master that and be disciplined and bring your passion to everyone. And I'm so excited about your family because I remember the story last year about the run in the wilderness. Remember, you guys were talking about that? That was just so fun. So you have an amazing family, so congratulations to you. And Gio, please stand. Mr. Gio, we are just thrilled to pieces over you. Thank you for sharing your story, one of challenge, but one of perseverance and one that shows victory. Because you've been able to take those struggles and you've been able to turn it around for God. And God always is able to take challenging situations and turn it into good. And He has with you, and you are setting an incredible example for others. People are going to be attracted to you. You have a very inspiring testimony, and I know that you are going to be able to help others in ways that you may not even realize just yet. And so just the fact that you're interested in the Navy, wanting to be able to serve our country, you see the importance of that, and just knowing that you have this awesome reason to live, and I know God is going to just open up so many doors for you. Congratulations to you. Isabella, Miss Isabella, you are one adorable young lady, and I love the fact that you like to work independently, you think outside the box, you have a smile that is absolutely adorable, and that you talk about pursuing your passions. And I love that, and the fact that you're interested in finance and trading, that is a very captivating field. And when you talk about your lesson, wanting to find happiness and not waiting that you go for it and you know that you're doing the right thing. The words used about you, joy, I love that word joy, so congratulations to you. Iris, Miss Iris. You know, I put musical notes by your name and everything else on my paper, and I love, you know, several people have talked about how, you know, you choose to do the best, and your positive attitude, and you shine out there. I love the fact that you're involved in musical theater, and also a member of Student Venture Club, knowing that you love the Lord, and you're going to go into an area that many times can be a challenging field for some, that they maybe get a little off base on their foundation, but you have a very strong foundation, and I think you're going to shine in the world, and I think that you're going to bring others to what you know is true, right? And I love that about you. The words used were graceful, and I like the words dynamic and totally authentic, so congratulations to you. Celeste, a lot of things came to my mind with you, and even a little tear of joy, because you talked about being a horse rider and knowing that there are no limits. And there is a very person in my life that has been a horse rider all his life, and that was my father. And he went home to be with the Lord just 2 years ago, but it was just his birthday this past week. And in Temecula, the great city of Temecula, created a roundabout for him. And guess what's in the middle of the roundabout? A horse that's up on 2 legs. And somebody, I don't know who it is, decorates that horse for every season. Right now there's a Happy New Year hat and a little gold little thing around it. At Christmas time it was a Santa hat. And I thought to myself, I really missed it by not putting a birthday hat up there, so next year I'm going to do that. But I'm thinking about how you don't take no for an answer. That's very much like my father. And he's a visionary. You are a visionary. I love the name of your company, Celestial Innovations. That's going to be so exciting. And just your lesson that how important it is to learn how to lead. And so I want to say this to you, but also want to say this to all the other students. In order to be a leader, you have to be given permission. You can only be given permission when people know you care. So people know you care, and people know that all of our other students care. So thank you so much, and God bless you. At the end, we listened to John Maxwell. He's a pastor, he's an author, he's a motivational speaker. This is a really interesting word. I've never heard this word used before, but it's fresh. And he first referenced fresh by a restaurant. You go to a restaurant generally because you want fresh food, and how horrible it would be to go to one that did not serve fresh food. And then he relates this to people. So I cut the restaurant part out, okay? But now we're going to listen to the part about people. So just listen, this is really interesting.
Let me ask you another question. What do you do with friends that don't have any fresh thoughts? I mean, aren't you tired of being around people that basically nothing's changing in their life? That basically what they're doing today and saying today, they could have done and said 6 months ago. I mean, I've been away from people, seen them maybe years later, sat down with them at lunch, and within 5 minutes I thought to myself, wow, they ain't moved. They're still right where they were. Growth is the greatest prohibitor of staleness. If you want to be fresh, you keep learning and you keep growing. There is nothing that just absolutely solves the appetite problem like being around a person that can give you fresh thoughts, fresh ideas, fresh thinking, a fresh way to look and a fresh perspective. I want to sit at the feet of people that are fresh, current, learning, growing. That's where I want to be. Don't want to be around that stale stuff. My name's John. I'm glad you're with me today on Minute with Maxwell.
I love that. I thought that was so good. And I listened to all of our students, and if you've heard from all the notes that people have taken, You all are fresh. You're giving fresh thoughts, new ideas, new passions, new expectations. And so we are excited about that. So thank you so much for sharing. As Mary said, this concludes our program. We're going to go out front, get fresh pictures of you all, bring your backpacks with you, and we appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you.